You bring shame to this family. How could you do this?
Calm down. Let's talk about this calmly.
The sound of retching echoed through the small compound as Rose doubled over, her body convulsing violently. Her breakfast of gari and soup splattered across the dusty ground near the wooden bench where her parents sat shelling melon seeds. Her mother's hands froze mid-motion. Her father's newspaper crumpled in his grip. They exchanged a look, the kind of wordless conversation that only decades of marriage makes possible. Her mother rose slowly, her wrapper rustling as she approached Rose with measured steps. She tilted her daughter's chin upward, searching those familiar eyes with the precision of a woman who had birthed and raised this child for 30 years. "You're pregnant." The words fell like stones into still water. Rose's father shot to his feet, his chair scraping harshly against the concrete. "You're what? How? Who?" His calloused hands gripped Rose's shoulders. "Start talking now, or I swear I will gather this entire village and—" But Rose couldn't speak. How could she tell them it was Prophet Elijah, the same man whose ministry they attended faithfully every Sunday, the man they called God's anointed? The man who had whispered promises of love into her ear while his wife traveled for conferences. The silence stretched like a chasm between them. That evening, Rose stood before the prophet's office door, her heart hammering against her ribs. Inside, Prophet Elijah sat behind his desk, fingers steepled beneath his chin. When she told him about the pregnancy, his face transformed, warmth draining away like water through sand. "It's not possible," he said coldly. "It can't be me." "But Prophet—" "Never mention my name in connection with this." He pulled open a drawer, extracting a thick wad of Naira notes. "Take this. Remove it. We never speak of this again." Rose stared at the money as if it were a serpent. "I will never kill my child." She turned and walked out, leaving the prophet's office feeling more alone than she'd ever felt in her life. At home, her father's rage had only intensified. "Tell me who is responsible, or you are no longer my daughter." Her mother positioned herself between them, hands outstretched. "Give her time. She'll tell us, please." But Rose remained silent even as her father's threats grew louder. The next morning, her father went directly to the prophet's church. "My daughter is pregnant," he announced, his voice heavy with shame. "She won't tell us who." The prophet's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Has she named anyone?" "No, but tomorrow I will make her speak, by force if necessary." The prophet leaned forward, concern etched across his features. "Send her to me. Let me counsel her. Perhaps she'll confide in a man of God." When Rose arrived at his office, the prophet's tone was urgent, almost desperate. "Your father was here. He's serious about finding out who got you pregnant. You must do as I said. Remove it and stay quiet. I'll tell him someone took advantage of you. I'll say I saw it in prophecy." Rose's voice was steady, despite the tears streaming down her face. "Over my dead body will I remove this child or lie to my parents. You said you loved me. Come and take responsibility for what you've done." She walked out before he could respond. Prophet Elijah stood alone in his office, mind racing. He reached for his phone. The next day, Rose sat between her parents, hands clasped tightly in her lap. She opened her mouth to speak the truth when their front door burst open. A stranger stormed in, a young man with wild eyes and theatrical desperation. "Rose, why are you avoiding me? Why won't you tell them you're carrying my child?" Rose's blood ran cold. "I've never seen this man in my life." But her father was already standing, vindication replacing confusion on his face. "So you've been protecting him. This man is willing to take responsibility and you couldn't even tell us?" "Father, no, it's not him. It's Prophet Elijah." "Enough." Her father's voice cracked like thunder. "You will not blaspheme against God's anointed. That prophet has been nothing but good to this family." Her mother looked away, unable to meet Rose's pleading eyes. The stranger was instructed to return with his family for proper marriage rites. Another man's child will not be born in this house. That night, Rose's mother came to her room. In the dim kerosene lamplight, she whispered, "Tell me the truth. Just me. Who is really the father?" "Mama, I swear on my life, it's Prophet Elijah." Rose's tears fell freely now. "Please, you have to believe me." Her mother studied her daughter's face and saw the truth there, plain as daylight. But believing and convincing her husband were two different battles. Meanwhile, at the prophet's office, money changed hands. The stranger counted the bills and nodded. The wedding is arranged for next week. When the stranger's family came for the traditional marriage rites, the compound filled with relatives and well-wishers. Rose was called forward. "Do you accept this man as your husband?" "I don't know this man. He's not the father of my child." She walked away, leaving shocked murmurs in her wake. Her father's fury that night was volcanic. "The marriage is rescheduled for 4 days from now, and if you embarrass this family again, you will be thrown out. Do you hear me?" After he stormed off, Rose's mother held her trembling daughter. "We need proof," she whispered. "It's the only way your father will believe." 2 days later, Rose returned to the prophet's office. Her phone was recording in her pocket. "Why are you doing this to me?" she asked. The prophet's composure finally cracked. "You think I had a choice? I paid that man to claim the child. I have a reputation, a ministry. You should have just removed it like I told you. Now look at this mess." Rose said nothing. She simply stood and left. At home, she gathered her parents. With shaking hands, she pressed play. The prophet's voice filled the room. "I paid that man to claim the child. You should have just removed it." Her father's face transformed, shock giving way to rage, then to something like devastation. Sunday morning arrived with heavy clouds. Rose's father, accompanied by 3 police officers, entered the small church just as Prophet Elijah raised his hands toward heaven. "Brothers and sisters, play it," Rose's father commanded. The recording echoed through the sanctuary. Voices that had been lifted in praise now rose in horror and disgust. The prophet's protestations were drowned out by the congregation's anger. The police led him away in handcuffs. Outside the church, Rose's father turned to her, tears streaming down his weathered face. "Forgive me. I should have believed you. I should have known my own daughter speaks the truth." Later, at home, Rose's mother asked quietly, "The baby?" Rose placed a protective hand on her stomach. "I'm keeping my child." They embraced, 3 generations bound together in that moment. Rose looked toward the camera, speaking directly to those who would hear her story. Prophets are not God. They are human. They have flesh. They can be misled. They can do terrible things. When your loved ones cry out for help, listen, really listen. Don't be so carried away by anyone's position that you ignore the truth standing right in front of you. The afternoon sun broke through the clouds, casting light across their small compound. There would be hard days ahead, but for now, they had each other. And for now, that was enough.